Good morning. How are you? Sitting out here, I decided to be out here with the cats, hang out with them. Well, it looks like some notifications came out. So we'll see if anybody comes in here. I doubt it. It's Saturday morning. People are either off doing Father's Day things um, or watching somebody else that's live. There's a few people that are live. I tend to not look at that when I go live. It's a fault of mine, I guess. Anyways, this is a general chat. We can talk about whatever. I kind of go off the rails on this channel, so you never know what's going to happen. But I imagine, I hope everything is fine with you guys. I hope everything is well. My wife and youngest are going to Kansas City, Missouri. So I got the house, just me and the boy. We got a house. We got the house. And tomorrow will be lawn work. So today, my oldest daughter, she is taking me out for lunch. Gonna hang out, probably spend some money on myself because that's what I do. So and I don't know, just try to have a good relaxing day. The heat is dumb. Like, there's a 99% chance that whoever's watching this is probably in some kind of heat wave. And a few things on my mind, but we'll get some people in here. I've got 9 people, so that's fine. That's not bad for a 400 something person channel, right? I have not been consistent with either one of my channels. I did a live feed on the other channel that at one point we had Big Rig CEO, CDN Broker, Sage News Live, and TEN all in the same chat. I didn't have to do squat. I just let everybody else do all the talking. But I wanted to chop it up and put the little nuggets. There's nuggets, right? So sometimes you go off the rails, and sometimes people see the 2 hour something minute replay time, and they're like, I'm not doing that. And which I understand. I wouldn't. There was I have friends that call me and go, hey, you need to check out this video. And I'm like, okay. So I'll look at the replay. It's like 4 or 5 hours. I'm like, no, out on the road, maybe, sitting at a truck stop, I might do that, but I can't think of the last thing that had 4 consecutive hours of my attention. And so I like how Tim Cast IRL does it. Just kind of do the live feed and then chop it up, right? Chop it up. Put some thumbnails, put some effort into it, Steve, but like everything else, I'm inconsistent. So anyways, it's nice out here in the back. Out front, you can hear my APU running, charging the batteries, make sure my batteries don't die on that truck since I haven't run it in a while. And grass is getting kind of tall, but we're going to worry about that tomorrow, right? We're going to worry about that tomorrow. So anyways, let's do some shout outs. We got Don Shonger, Daryl Worth, Desert Okie Pam, This Tour Life. It's always good to see you in the morning, says Don. Well, thank you. Anthony Bressler, hello. Sage News Live, hey now. Don says that was a great show. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Dutch, I always watch live, but I do not watch multiple hour vids. Yeah, and I get that. Like I said, I wouldn't either. I don't know. I guess my YouTube watching habits. Here's something we can talk about. Um, TikTok, right? Let me see if I can find that email. I'm gonna read something to you guys. Everybody's 9 o'clock. My YouTube thing's gonna go nuts. All right. All right. I want you guys' thoughts on this, okay? This is from Robinhood. TikTok's time bomb, how the app wields massive influence on America's attention and potentially its direction. No one's safe from vertical videos. U.S. social giants have desperately tried to replicate the success of TikTok, the short video app that's captured Gen Z's consciousness. Call it Gen T. One of the biggest threats to Meta, Google, Snap, and Twitter isn't slowing social usership in general, it's slowing usership because of TikTok. 44 minutes a day. Last year, people spent more time on TikTok than on Facebook. Get out of here, dweeb. There's a bee out here. The talk may even be surpass time spent on Insta and YouTube worldwide. Think about that. 1.6 million brains. TikTok has more monthly users than Twitter, Snap, and LinkedIn combined. The news, TikTok just added new screen time controls to make its app seem less intensely addictive. Think break reminders. The reality, it likely won't help. The app's already shortened kids' attention spans to where many can't even sit through a movie or a class. How many people look at the length of a YouTube video and go, I'm not investing in that. To curate your feed, TikTok's mysterious algorithm figures out what engages you. And while that's mostly lip syncs, cat pranks, and makeup hacks, there's a dark side to TikTok, which is owned by a Chinese tech giant, ByteDance, which China's government owns a stake in. Do people not see? I'll keep going. Dangerous content. In addition to life-threatening viral challenges like holding your breath until you faint or ODing on Benadryl, TikTok's algo has sent teens down rabbit holes promoting eating disorders, porn sites, and gun violence. Of course, they want to throw the gun violence thing in there, right? Many get their news on TikTok, but no one really knows how info and misinfo spreads there. Recently, TikTok's been flooded with videos pushing Russia's narrative on the Ukraine war, which China supports. Censorship. TikTok has cracked down on topics at China's behest. Think the Uyghur crisis. I don't know what that is. Uyghur crisis. Any interference from the Chinese government could wreak havoc on U.S. elections in an already divided American democracy. The takeaway, attention equals influence. We're not talking fitness gurus. Commanding attention means directing attention, and TikTok's captured the mind of a generation. The concern of the now dead TikTok ban saga was that ByteDance could pass US data to China. But the real concern is likely TikTok's influence to direct attention and the obscurity around who's really pulling the strings. There's a lot of eating challenges where people will eat just humongous amounts of food and do it live. There are teenagers doing really stupid. You know how? Look, teenagers. They do stupid stuff. and now it could be documented, right? And so think about the like something simple like a milk crate, the milk crate challenge. The challenge was to do something stupid like to take milk crates, probably raiding your local grocery store, which is illegal by the way, and then you put them up in a mountain and you have to walk over the mountain without falling. Of course, you know, people have broken their necks, they've broken their backs, they've broken their legs. But hey, your video's gone viral and it's on thousands upon thousands of fail compilations out there. You know, like that that challenge, the where you dump cold water on yourself. And people were doing it outside in their swim trunks in the middle of summer, thinking that they were doing some challenge. And they didn't even know what they were doing the challenge for. You know, so YouTube's like, you know, we got to come up with the shorts. And then, you know, Facebook's like, we got to come up with the reels. Instagram, too. But attention span, you know, a lot of, you know, I meet so many people like, I have adult ADHD. Well, yeah, because you got your head in that phone all the time. Tell you what, I've been reading physical books here lately. And if it wasn't for the fact that, you know, I have to have my phone on me at all times for the safety and dispatch, I would just put my phones in another room so I wouldn't be distracted while I'm reading these books. When was the last time you were bored? When was the last time, like, remember when we were kids, if you're my age, if you got a beard like this, or a similar color, remember when we were young and we would be bored? You know, and your parents be like, you know, Mom, Dad, I'm bored. I'll give you something to do. And so, you know, you run away so you don't have to do chores. And I notice my day goes by faster if I'm away from the phone. Like if I'm not concerned about some social media BS. And I guess that's why the YouTube drama doesn't really appeal to me. It's entertaining when I can keep up with it, but for the most part, I don't. You know, we're all gonna die, so you know what's the point, right? Anyways, tomorrow I'll be busy. Father's Day. Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to you people that are fathers in this chat. Happy Father's Day to you people. Oops. And yeah. I always watch the live. Okay, people see, but they don't care. Yeah, I mean, that's true, Sage. Pneumatic Brit, good morning. Draco, the thought of mukbang videos terrifies and sickens me. I have no idea. You'll have to explain that to me later. Dying Breed, hello, Lord Star. Mr. Williams, happy Father's Day to you. Anthony Bresley, I think I said hey to you. It's you know, but look, I don't judge. If you're on TikTok, you know, look, I get it. If you have a business, it's probably beneficial to be on TikTok. I know a gal who runs a dispatch and referral service for trucking and a brokerage actually, and she's on TikTok. If I owned a physical store, like a brick and mortar store selling something, I would want a TikTok. If I had a business to promote, well, depending on the business, like I wouldn't want to like promote rig runners or like trucking on TikTok. That's just my personal. I mean, there's not much you could say in a minute long video, right? Like, hey, we do this, or the thing to do actually is do indirect marketing where you bring up a topic, or you do a viral challenge, and then people see the name on the side of your shirt or your hat or your truck, and that gets people inquiring about that, right? That seems to be the MO. Come up with a viral video, and then that should advertise whatever you're trying to advertise. That's why these movie stars and rock stars will say something absolutely asinine on Twitter because they're getting ready to promote something. If movie star number one sits there and goes, "Hey, in this interview I talk about how to be healthy and happy," and then you have another movie star that goes, so he gets on Twitter and talks about this article, and oh, by the way, I'm promoting a new movie. It has nowhere near the effect of another guy that might go, "Hey, everybody that owns a gun is an idiot," and then they get on Twitter and they say that, and then you come to find out that they're also promoting a movie. And so what they did is they put their name in the trending topics. And ironically, a lot of these people that do that, they'll sit there and talk about how we got to reduce gun violence. Meanwhile, they got to shoot them up, kill 100 people in a type movie, an action film, an action flick. And, can you say hypocrite? That's why the deal with what happened with Alec Baldwin was irony in its purest form. Anyways, that's a different topic for a different day. But, so that's how business is done. Say something stupid or something profound, and then push your business a little bit. Look how YouTube's done, right? Look at, people will criticize Trucker's Coach for doing things the way he does it, but then at the same time, everybody's talking about whatever company he's with. It's being talked about, gossiped about, mentioned. Next thing you know, there's a waiting list to get on with that company, and all he had to do was put a video or two about whatever said company, because he understands the algorithms that the internet requires to push a product, and that's essentially what he's doing, is pushing a product. I'm not good at that, obviously, or else I'd have more than 400 subs in this channel. I want to call my ex and thank her because without her I wouldn't be a father. LOL. We do get yeah, I mean, I've got one ex that I've lost complete contact with, and then I've got an ex that that we get along pretty good. And that's the best thing for the kids, right? As long as the ex ain't psycho, like the one I get along with is fine. The one I don't get along with, that we completely had to sever ties. Good morning. How is all the trucking doom and gloom going? The sky is falling. Well, as far as the trucking doom and gloom, there's really, other than high fuel prices, and it costs like $20 to buy a cheeseburger at the truck stop now, rates are still fairly decent. And so it's the mishaps, take a driver that is trying to get $1,000 a day, but loads get shifted, accidents happen, things break down, and and the thing that's going to take a lot of people out right now is vehicle maintenance. That's what I'm seeing taking people out. That's what's taking out a few people over here. Is that vehicle maintenance comes up and can't afford to fix it. Or you can afford to fix it, but your backups get depleted because it takes too long to get the repair done. That's the other one. And if you want to buy a vehicle right now used prices are going down, but new ain't ever going down. I will be surprised if we ever see a brand new truck below $200,000 from now until the rest of the time. At least until the electric trucks come out. If you make trucks unaffordable for the small person, then the big companies that want to put the self-driving tech in there, they can purchase those. And I bet you it'll be like, you can buy a new Volvo. Now let's do it this way. You can buy a brand new W9 for $230,000, or you can buy this electric truck for for $180,000. Well, if you really want to do a trucking business, you might do that. Now, I don't recommend doing that because the infrastructure for electric trucks isn't there, and that's what's kind of disheartening with this whole electric vehicle movement is, look, if you have a system in place and it's just a matter of choice, then yeah, by all means, make a switch to something. But when the infrastructure is not set up and it's not an equal choice, how can you push out that new product? And it seems to be the other MO. We push out products before they're tested. Kind of like that, And how I don't. The thing that bothers me the most is that what we're seeing is not sustainable. The fuel is not sustainable. The rates would be sustainable if fuel was down, because remember, we're still above 2018 levels on the rates, but we're not on fuel. And that's the kicker. That's where they get you, right? People are worried about gun control. Well, easiest way for gun control is to tax and put these enormous prices on ammo. I don't know, when 50 rounds became $80, that's when I stopped buying, or $60. Create a shortage so you can skyrocket the price, and then you'll swoop in with the solution. Or if you just want to get rid of all together, you never lower the price. And so with this war on oil, the war on the infrastructure of America, let's take out the fuel. Take out the fuel reserves, take out the food reserves, Just how it is. But on a personal level, rates are still good. My short haul stuff that I look at around here, it's actually, the rates are going up on it. And the kicker will be after the 4th of July. We'll see what happens after the 4th of July. But for now, when I can keep the trucks running, they're doing pretty good. At least rate per day, right? If there is a low rate per day or rate per mile on one load, then the next load definitely makes up for it. That's that's how it always is, to be honest with you. If you go to Denver for $4 a mile, which I recently got, and you get $2 a mile coming out, then you've made 3 all miles, and guess what? That's pretty damn good. If your truck's fuel efficient, that's even better. If your cost at home or whatever are low, that's even better. So it's just a matter of deciding how much pie you want other people to have. And a lot of those things are out of our control, like the fuel. You can minimize the you can mitigate the fuel cost a little bit. But hey, but if you're in the middle of Nowheresville and the Freightliner dealership tells you it's going to be like a month before they can get your one box done, that's going to cost you 15 grand. That's tough for any business to get over. And I don't know about you, but I know a couple of people that have spare trucks, quote unquote. But what if that truck goes down? So it's just a matter of the doom and gloom is mostly within ourselves. Is it tough out there? Absolutely. How would I be faring if I was running full time? I'd probably be, I'd definitely be, making some cuts, making some changes. But again, I've kept my operating costs pretty low. So where I have a little bit of that maintenance money. Stayed on the side of the road, broke down, I quit. Daniel, is that for real? Are you really sitting on the side of the road? You want your own truck desperately? Did you ever call Bob, Tennessee? Because I think he might have a lease purchase deal. Yes, for real. Daniel, I'm sorry to hear that. Where you broke down at? Maybe we get some people to help you out. I don't have my Life 360s on the phone that I'm on. So you gotta probably have a tow bill in your future. What's going on with the truck? Is it a check engine light? Is it a tire? Is it unknown? Is it Packard giving you fits? Talk to me, brother. If a person wants to be an owner operator, have a lot of money in the bank, get the best warranty you can get, and have a lot of money in the bank. That you need those two things, those two elements. Now, in the past, you can get by with one or the other, but for the most part, in the climate, there's a war on small businesses with all these costs and everything, and trucking is no different. Schneider has a much bigger advantage over fuel prices and equipment prices and equipment availability and parts availability than the one truck operation that feeds his family of five that needs to gross $300,000 or else it's done, right? So because I guarantee you that Schneider and Werner are not paying $250,000 for a truck. I did contact Bob, but he gave bad news. Oh, okay. You'll have to tell me about it later. Does your '09 number not work anymore? Should. A tow truck to come pick me up. What's your location, Daniel? You might be in a bad signal, Daniel. No, the number's still there. I tried sending you pics, but it said send failure. Try it again. Hit that little red button and try it again. Hit retry. Might just be in a bad signal. Bloomington, Illinois. Well, at least there's a Peterbilt dealership right next to that TA. Of course, they're closed on weekends. You got full signal? That's weird. I almost, when I blew my turbo, I almost stopped at that Bloomington, Illinois Peterbilt, but I decided to try to get a little bit further, and I was glad I did, because I made it to St. Louis, and that gave a little bit more time. You know, like they had more people to work on my truck, but it still cost me a week. There you are, Daniel. I got it. DPF full, engine derated. DPF must be serviced to repair. Yeah, you got all kinds of lights going on there. Do not run engine or damage will occur. Wow, complete shutdown. Like not even like, we'll give you 5 miles an hour to get somewhere. It looks like there's 2 faults. What's the second fault? You got 1 of 3 there. It's like there's 3 faults going on. What's the other one saying? Imagine you know how to scroll through that deal there. It didn't give me a chance to even try to make it back. Wow. I was just there this past week for other issues, and now this. And you know, and Daniel's frustration, which I've felt, that's the other thing. A lot of people are like hanging up the keys simply because they don't feel like it's worth it. You know, I got a buddy of mine that decided that he was, you know, keep his authority active, put somebody on it, and then he would go drive for Walmart. The third one was just saying about the collision mitigation. Oh, okay. Yeah, I hate that collision mitigation thing. But you know, the thing comes up and you're like, you gotta turn it off. Anyways, turn off the fault, not the fault, but this truck is equipped with collision mitigation. You know, that kind of thing. Well, at least it won't be a long tow. I feel like a big time failure because every time I tried to save money, my truck is asking for it. Well, Daniel, here's the thing, and you know, maybe this will help, maybe not, but there's a meme where it shows that one character from Django Unchained, what's his face, the actor, and he's holding the Packard light, and like the top of the meme it says, you know, caught up with my bills, and then the Packard light comes on and he's like taunting. That's how it is. That's how it is in trucking. Every time someone's come up to me and said, "Oh man, all I need is a straight month of this truck not doing anything," and you know, you knock on wood, and then next thing you know, the truck's like, "Oh yeah." But don't feel like a failure, because what you're experiencing now is so commonplace with these new trucks that I would not want to rely 100% of my income to one of these new trucks. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm looking at 540.75 for tow. Good deal. That's your blessing, Daniel. That's your blessing. And those of you who are not owner operators, keep in mind that you're looking at a tow bill of $540, and that Bloomington, Illinois shop ain't going to be open today, or if they are, they ain't got, they got basically tire changers up until noon. And that's a blessing, right? That's how being an owner operator is. It's funny. We'll take one of our regular cars in for to get some work done. Like my pickup needed something. I was like, oh, it's only $400, and my wife's like, how can you say the words only $400? I'm like, because I just sneezed wrong in a Kenworth dealership, and it's 1,000. So, but it is discouraging. I wouldn't use the word failure though, Daniel. Hopefully NTP will be able to cover this issue. If they don't, I quit. If they're open today until 3, they said they won't be able to check my truck until Monday. Yeah. Well, I know somebody was down because of a trailer issue, and he ran into the same thing. No one wants to look at it, and if they do, they can't do anything about it till Monday. And that's the it sucks because it seems like trucks break down on the weekends. So again, that's days lost, right? Days lost. What could have been, if you're averaging $1,000 a day, that's you got Saturday and Sunday, that's 1,000 plus. Are you under a load, Daniel? I imagine you are if it's the weekend. I'm pretty sure you're not driving around empty in Illinois on a Saturday. But at least you're with a carrier that can repower that trailer if needed, I would think. That's the other disadvantage of a single truck authority. What do you do if your truck breaks down? What are you going to do about that load that's in your trailer? Little things like that. And and at some point people like, this isn't worth it. And you got the positive, memers that go, you can either be the lion in the cage with guaranteed food, or you can in security, or you can be out in the wild and take your chances. Well, that's true, but that doesn't really apply to running a business. Is there risk with your own business? Absolutely. Is it worth it? Well, that's to the individual and how you can recover from each problem, because problems will arise. But don't sit there and beat yourself up, man. Because you are not the only one in this position. They are looking into be able to recover this load because this load needs to be in Houston by Tuesday because it's going on a boat to somewhere unknown. I'd park it and go drive for someone else till I get that truck fixed. In Tennessee, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing a lot of that. So I definitely have some sympathy for you, Daniel, but don't beat yourself up. They're tow truck companies make money for a reason, and they love these new DPF trucks. They love them. They absolutely love them. Dealerships, they love them, right? Broker said it needs to be there by Wednesday. Yeah, so you'll lose the money on the repower. Now, like Schneider would charge you if you have to repower a load under a breakdown, like insult to injury. Like, hey, by the way, I know your truck broke down and you can't deliver that load, but since we're repowering it, we're going to charge you $400. So you're like, okay, yes, sir, man, have another, So you lose the revenue from the load. You lose the revenue loss because you're in the shop, and then and then you're charged to do said repower. Which, it's the nature of the beast. It's how it is. It's how it's done. So I'd be curious to know what your company's policies are. And then working for a company, you got to make sure you work for a company that's pretty secure in their ways. I know a person that works for JB Hunt that's killing it right now. As a company driver. But, would I do that? Probably not. I was trying to get home as well. Well, Mr. Adami, keep us posted on how it's going. We'll check up on you Monday and see, maybe do an interview with you. I mean, 25.50 last week. This week will not be as impressive, but I'm still saving money towards my goal. Was that net to you, Tennessee? Why couldn't it break down when I was close to home? Yeah, that's tough, man. I know what that's like. Um, I've had a couple of road calls away from the road. Hell, I had a road call with my truck right outside my house because it wouldn't start. Um, so here's the scenario for those of you who want to be owner operators. Okay, let's say you're sitting pretty with 20 grand in the bank. You know, and it's Friday afternoon, and you're near a small town like, I don't know, say like Sedalia, Missouri. There's a Peterbilt dealership there, you know, but basically it's just the good old boys that bring their dump trucks in for that shop, right? They don't have a plethora of, sensors and certain parts, right? So you get your truck towed to Sedalia Friday afternoon. You have to go get a hotel. They won't look at your truck until Monday. So Monday morning you show up with your Uber, or you call, and then they tell you, well, it's got this and this and this. We won't be able to work on it till Friday, and the parts won't come in until 2 weeks from now. So now you got to find either a rental car or a bus fare home or a hotel for 2 weeks, which I highly recommend the car. If you can even get a rental car. If you're in Los Angeles and need a rental car home, good luck. All right? So you're sitting there in Sedalia. You've already lost 4 days. Now let's say they have the part, but they still can't get the truck till Friday. So what do? You spend $500 on a car to get home, or you spend $500 in the hotel. And now you're eating out every single meal. And so now your bank account's $15,000. So you get rolling for a week, and suddenly you have another issue because the first issue wasn't addressed correctly. So now you're at another dealership. Hey, this check engine light's on. Oh, it wasn't this, it was this that caused this. So now you're learning that the first shop kind of reamed you. And mind you, this is just for expenses, right? Let's say it was a $2,000 repair, right? So you go in there and they're like, oh yeah, they did this and it should have been this, it should have been this. And they're just throwing parts. You got to find a shop that won't just throw parts at a problem, which a lot of them do, because that's a very profitable way to make business, because they're getting their money regardless, right? So now you're down another 5 days because there's 20 other people just like you that have the same issue with their trucks. And so now, well, rent was due, your car payment was due, and meanwhile your trailer payment was due, and your carrier's still charging you insurance, and your kid just sprained his ankle, so you had to have the money for, the copay for that, and next thing you know, it's been a month and you're down to like $10,000. And then you go out, you blow a tire, on the road. It takes 8 hours for loves to get to you. You lose the delivery time. Let's say you're on a CNS, or I don't know, pick any food grocer. Oh, well, since you didn't make on-time delivery, we got it. Our next schedule is not for another week. So now the broker's mad at you, or your, the carrier signed on to is mad at you, or you got to repower the load, which, if you own your trailer, that's not an option. And so now you're losing out on that revenue that you were supposed to be getting to make up for the lack of that 20 grand. That's how this works. And so once you're in the hole, it is extremely hard to get out, because that truck is not consistent enough on its performance. And that's how these DPF trucks are. And this is not directed at Daniel, it's directed to everyone, every one of us. Hi, Kat. So it's a tough gig. And federal regulations and fuel prices and insurance rates are making that extremely, just that much harder, right? That much harder. Always with the cats. Always with the cats, right? Go. All right, have fun. So, if you want to become an owner-operator, I have to ask the question, why? I have people call me all the time, hey, I want to be an owner-operator. It's a good idea. Well, what's your goal? What is the why? If it's just because you want to get home more, well, guess what? If you're 10 grand in the hole because of truck breakdowns, you're going to have to go out and work. Now you're working harder than you would have, depending on the company that you were at. So these are things that you have to evaluate. I'm not telling you not to be an owner-operator. These are just, the ins and outs, the realities. And people are like, well, nobody on YouTube talks about the real story. No, there are. There are plenty of stories out there of scenarios just like Daniel Adami's. There are plenty of those scenarios to make you, really know what you're getting into. And so you can lease on you could become a lease operator like for Prime or somebody like that, and you have that umbrella of protection. You've got their consistent freight, you've got their, your truck goes down, they'll, since it's a lease truck, it's either under warranty or, they'll front you the money, and now you're in more debt to them, so you ain't going anywhere. That's all by design. That is by design, people. And then you got the full maintenance lease deals, which are pretty cool, but if you don't run, then they become pointless. Keep your head up, says Dice Man. Look at the Ukraine-Poland border, a 7-day traffic jam for trucks. Even if you're empty, you're still having to wait in line. Puts things in perspective, right? Anthony, good morning. Tow truck's on its way. I just saw it the other side. It's going the opposite way. All right. Well, Daniel, good luck to you, man. I'm back. Let's changing tanks. God forbid if it's during a holiday, i.e. Thanksgiving, wait time is way longer. Absolutely, Anthony. Absolutely. Heading home again, have code issues, so not chancing it. We'll be buying code clearing machine tomorrow for backup. Wow. That is, it's kind of there you go, Daniel. You're not alone, man. You're not alone. So, anyways, I've talked long enough. I'm going to hang out with my daughter and maybe do a little bit of reading. There's chores I should be doing, but I'm like, whatever. Wife's away. I can do whatever I want. I'm bachelor now. So, so the doom and gloom keep your head up, man. Keep your head clear. There's always, there's always something that's going to make you struggle in life, and just because you struggle doesn't mean you're a failure, right? It's through failure and struggle that we learn to succeed. I can do all the YouTube videos about do it this way, do it that way, be careful of this, don't do that, that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's all up here and what you're willing and not willing to do, what you're willing to put up with, not willing to put up with. That's in anything in life. I don't care if it's a trucking business or, a lemonade stand or, working out or eating good. That it's through the struggles and hiccups and failures that you become stronger. So you can use the word failure for, well, I failed to put maintenance money aside, or I failed to, get my down payment, or get my truck payment down, or I failed to, call the broker, or, but don't see yourself as a failure. There are failures of things, of actions, but there is not a failure of people, if that makes sense. OTR tool saves a lot, and they do make them for PACCAR. In fact, Adami, I know somebody that's got one for a PACCAR, but they are available. I asked about the doom and gloom. I didn't think you were actually going to tell me, LOL. You just have to deal with it. It's trucking. That's how you deal with problems and move on. Right. It's not doom and gloom, Tennessee. It's real. Doom and gloom is saying, oh, there's no point in owning a business because fuel's going to be $10 a gallon and trucks are going to be $500,000 a piece. That's doom and gloom. There's still money to be said. I can show you the settlements. I can show you the results of the dispatch service. And the ones out there not making money is because they're in their own way. And sometimes the it could be a failure to learn, but other times it could be just lack of experience. I don't recommend anybody become an owner operator unless they got 5 years of experience with some kind of business, or trucking at least, because you got to know your lanes, and if you don't know the lanes, you got to know how to adapt. You got to know how to overcome. If you need to spend a month out, then you spend a month out. If you need to be home every other day, and that's non-negotiable, then it's going to be more of a struggle. Am I saying that it can't be done? No. That's doom and gloom. Doom and gloom would be, you can't do that, right? All right, Daniel, be careful. I save fuel by using customers' equipment to offload rather than mine, so I can shut down truck while I'm working. There's so many different things. And with this heat wave, it's going to cause a lot of DPF failures. And if the DEF fluid, if there's a true DEF shortage, look for the quality of DEF to go down. Look for the quality of gasoline to go down. Look for the quality of diesel to go down. If you truly want to cripple this country, you just have to poison the well. And that well is the diesel, the DEF, the gasoline. Boom, done. It's a wrap. Unless you're driving an old 19 whatever Edsel, you can put sludge in and it'll still run. It's that's the bad part about technology. So but that's not doom and gloom. That's just being real. And don't be desperate to make a change without, so you make bad decisions. I know people that want to become owner operators so bad, and they make bad decisions because they're just desperate to get to that next level, which I don't feel it's a next level. It's just a level. Because I know plenty of company drivers that are making more money than I did as an owner operator. I don't get stuck in my own feels. Some see doom and gloom, I see opportunity. And that is the mind of a true entrepreneur. The EPA standards is what's making the industry, it's creating the divide between rich and poor when it comes to the industry, where the mega carriers get bigger and the smaller carriers get smaller. It's the DPF regulations and the wanting to do electric trucks and the price of diesel fuel. So I guarantee you that Schneider's not paying sticker price on those pumps for all their company trucks. I guarantee it. But you are, unless you got a good fuel card. But then even then, that's nowhere near of what Schneider's getting, right? And you know, the fuel discount should just show you that they can charge whatever they want, and it's just how it is. There's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. You can have 15 fuel cards, and now you're juggling paperwork, which that takes time, and you know, it just, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. That's just how it is. Anyways, guys, Daniel, keep your chin up. I know you're probably not watching at this point. That tow truck driver is probably disengaging the drive line now, so he can be towed. And then you're gonna sit at that. Hopefully your truck will still idle, so you keep your dogs cool and yourself. And hope that there's nothing in town if you need a hotel that you can't get a room for. If you need to get a room, and you know, you got that TA right there next to Peterbilt dealership. So, and I can think of worse scenarios, to be honest with you. It's a tough world. Hard times create strong men. Just remember that.